What's up, everyone? My name is Deric Ince, sales professional up here at Family PowerSports Austin. Today we're going to be taking a deep dive into the 2022 Specialized Turbo Levo Expert. First off, it's got the revised 2.2 motor. It's going to be boasting about 700 watts on the battery, power to crank out about 560 watts of power, about a 90 Newton meter motor on here. So you can go times 2, times 3, times 4, whatever your speeds are. We'll start up here in the front. So the tires is one of the changes this year. They've gone to the mullet setup. The front one, you're going to be rocking a Butcher T9 on here. So with a little bit softer compound up in the front to really grab and get a hold of the dirt, with the dry climate, wet climate, really give you some more grip on here. So you got the T9 softer compound, home brand Specialized tire up in the front. And then I mentioned the mullet setup, so you're going to have a 27 5-inch tire in the back. What that's going to do is going to reduce your chainstay, make this bike really playful in the back, really nimble through the trails and everything. And with the 29-inch front tire, the confidence and the ability to roll over kind of anything that gets in your way. All right, in the front on the suspension, you're going to have the Fox Performance Elite 38 millimeter front forks. It's going to boast about 160 millimeters of front travel on your X2 suspension. Back here in the back, you got the X2 float. It's about 150 millimeters of travel on this guy. So you get a lot of suspension travel on this thing, very smooth riding. I was actually out riding this out at Reveille Peak the other day. Awesome handling when you compare it to the Levo Comp or even the Levo Turbo Alloy with 34 and 36 mil in the front. So in the rear cassette here, we've got the X01 Eagle 12-speed cassette back here, 52 teeth. Really good right there as far as the SRAM components of this bike. I kind of touched on the motor earlier, so 560 watts of power, really push you up the hill. If you want to come up here, I'll kind of go over the new Mastermind TCU. So on the Turbo Mastermind here, it's a lot different than last year's model. You actually have some display up here, colored, so you can ride it with off, eco mode, trail mode, and then turbo mode. You can customize it all in the Mission Control app. Right now the default setting is times 2, times 3, times 4 respectively. So you can also customize what you've got going on up here. You can see how fast you're going, time, battery. You can customize, put your heart rate on there. It's a bunch of different ways to kind of customize it for whatever specifications you're wanting to track on here. Another really cool thing about the TCU Mastermind, it's got live battery connectivity, so you can actually see in the different turbo settings, however much assistance you're asking, how it's going to affect your battery life as well. I mentioned the battery on this thing is huge. It's actually the same frame, same battery as your S-Works and even your Pro models here. So you got 700 watts right here. That's going to equal about 2,000 meters of climbing per charge. I was out at Reveille Peak. We rode for about 4 hours. A little over 14 miles on this thing, different levels of assistance I was asking of it, and was still, when I got back to camp, at about 49%. So I mean, these batteries will last a long time. So on this 2.2 motor, right here we got the double sealed trap door function to keep the debris, water from getting all in your motor, whether you're cleaning it, going for a ride across the river, anything like that. This keeps it nice and safe. It's also where you plug it in to charge it. So it's double sealed, and then it's got the gasket in there to keep everything out, and it just locks right back up. So another big change in this third generation Levo Expert is going to be the geometry. So last year's model, your slack on the head angle was about 60 degrees. It was 60 degrees on here. They made it a little bit more customizable for you this year, so it can go from 63.5 to 65 degrees of slack on here. So all that does is just make for a more confidence inspiring ride. I mean, as you're going down the hill, it's raked out a little bit more, you can really hit what you're going at. It also helps with the suspension when you're taking off and landing from jumps like that. Really customize it for the terrain that you're going to be riding on. So a lot of people ask me, who is this bike for? This is for your rider looking to get the max performance and the most bang for your buck, basically. You've got the 38 millimeter front forks, your X2 shock in the back here, massive motor on here so you can potentially get the most motor output and assistance that you want, all for the price of $11,000. So like I mentioned before, this has the same frame, same motor, same TCU Mastermind as your S-Works and your Pro models, which are about $2,000 and $3,000, $4,000 more than this model here, coming in at about $11,000 plus your tax. Guys, thanks for tuning in. As always, my name is Deric Ince up at Family PowerSports. If you have any questions for me at all, feel free to give me a call. Leave a comment on there. We'll follow up with you. As always, like and comment and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We will see you next time. I appreciate you tuning in.